There's a bit of a trend in the Diablo 2 community over a long span of time of doing gambling runs or X number of boss run videos, and I figured since I needed more bases for upcoming crafting videos, I'd kill two birds with one stone. Unfortunately, none of them turned out to be Jordan's, but we did get some fun stuff along the way while spending 105 million gold to gamble 3,000 rings on a level 98 sorceress. If you'd like to see every gamble in real time, there will be a link to it in the description, so let's talk about what we found. First off, it is worth noting that the average rate of various item types in gambling, nor the prices of gambling, get influenced by Magic Find difficulty or who you gamble at. They are fixed rates based on character level and any gold cost reduction items you currently have, with amulets and rings being a small exception to this rule, costing a flat rate regardless of your level. No matter what you have equipped, you can expect 1 in 10 items to be rare, 1 in 1,000 items to be sets, and 1 in 2,000 items to be unique. And our numbers are within the expected deviation for that, since out of 3,000 rings, we ended up with 312 rares, 4 sets, and 2 uniques, putting us at marginally above expectations. First up, the sets are the easiest to show off since we got 4 Cathans, which is funny but expected, and while I would have loved an Angelic, this is about on par for, well, course, since Cathans are heavily weighted. That said, the 2 unique rings we got, they were a bit more unexpected. Usually, Mantled Heel and Nagel Ring are the main culprits you'll find gambling for rings. Though, in this case, we got 1 moderately weighted ring in Dwarf Star, which is a 10 out of 59 chance of happening as a unique ring, and then the light weighted ring in Carrion Wind, which is only 3 out of 59 chance. Beyond that, we had 312 rare and 2,682 magic rings, most of which frankly ranged from garbage to, at best, okay, but hey, they're the right level for crafting. That said, we did get a few fun gems. Though, to put these gems in perspective, they probably will not be replacing any of the rares that I currently have in rotation, but we did get a handful of good ones, and we did get literal dozens of things like Bahamut, Fortuitous, and Scintillating Rings with all kinds of secondary mods, yes, even of Apprentice. But don't worry, these will all be put to good use, albeit with a nice coat of orange paint, since none of them are perfection level, so no sense in really keeping them. That said, I do think that some of these rares are actually worth showing off, so just to give an idea of what you can get from gambling. First up, we got 2 somewhat mediocre dual leech rings, so that's about a 1 in 1,500 result to get a dual leech ring. One with good percents, some attack rating and mana help, the other with a bit lower percents but at least some lightning resist. They're good enough, but definitely not a GG. That said, it is entirely possible to get endgame ones that you'll use forever on your account, and it's just, well, rare. We also got a few other similarly good enough rings with leech, faster cast stats, but not an amazing combo of any of the above. That would be fine for the use for the rest of your character's shelf life, and even fetch a, well, basic price. But we want something a bit punchier and fancy to show off for our effort, though it is definitely worth considering some of these FCR leech resist combo rings for your Enigma using physical damage characters. We sadly didn't get any truly amazing FCR stat resists for our casters, just some okay ones. In the end, I think my favorites of this batch of rings definitely fell down in the category of our life leech finds this time, since we got the leech stat and resist combo on them that makes them fairly nice for farming purposes at least, with solid leech strength and useful resistances. All that said, in the end, what you're generally looking for are faster cast rates, stats, and resists, since these are the things that pretty much every build for sure can use. After that, you sometimes want leech, attack rating, and damage if you are doing physical damage, and of course health and mana are not bad to see either on any type of ring. Though the specifics really depend on your class and goal, since, for example, Magic Find is nice if you're using them for farming, but if you're doing PvP, it's a waste of a modifier slot. And the only reason faster cast is in the top tier slot is unfortunately Enigma Fever, which isn't always necessary for farming, but it is what most people focus on for making their builds more efficient for, well, certain tasks that are extremely popular. Have you found any amazing rings? Mention them down below, and if you are posting a link to an image of them on something like Imager, be sure to make a separate top level post without a link so I know to check the spam filter and let the post through. And as always, a special thanks to patrons, members, and viewers like you who make this content possible.